What's up, everybody? It's Pablo here. I'm joined by my brother, Jose, the
Hello.
co-host for this podcast. Before we get into the episode, we just really wanted to thank you guys for the support that everyone's been showing. We're on our 71st episode, and this is a very special episode because, as you can see, we've got headphones. We have an audio interface. We have the ability for live feedback. So the audio, we just checked it for this episode, and it's crisp, it's perfect. There's no weird echoes, misalignments, or anything. Everything's getting recorded straight into one computer, which solves all of our problems. So for everyone who's been watching, from the bottom of my heart, and I know my brother can say the same here a little bit, but thank you for sticking with us. There's only good things to come, so no more audio issues, just straight content, and we're still learning how to be good interviewers, how to be good podcasters. But in general, thank you for listening for this long and for sticking around with our terrible audio.
But now we have really crisp audio, and like Pablo said, we just did the test, and we can kind of bring up an example here. You can, at the 50-minute mark, you can kind of hear reverb or echoes throughout with the guest mic or our mics, or specifically you can hear Pablo because he's a little louder.
Yes, sir.
But now with the audio interface, it's all fixed. Or honestly, Pablo and I almost teared up when we were testing it.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate everybody that's followed us through our journey. The audio is going to be crisp. The content is going to be a little bit better. It's going to be a little bit easier on your ears because now you're not going to hear a bunch of echoes around everywhere. So I really want to thank everybody for sticking along. And unfortunately, I know we might have lost some guests because of the audio, but we're back with really good audio.
Yes.
And really good content. And we have some really good surprises in the future, too, that Pablo are working on.
Yeah. We don't know when it'll come out, but it will come out. And that's all we'll say. We'll just leave it as a little teaser.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Or enjoy the episode.
Enjoy the episode. Now let's get into it. Bye.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the In Our House podcast. Before we get into today's special guest, make sure you go down, hit the subscribe button, and remember last time if you hit that like button, you get a week's full of good luck. But today's special guest, she's been on the podcast before. She is a recently new mom. Please welcome Karen Miranda.
Welcome, babe.
Hi.
How you be?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I mean, it's like we just didn't live a whole day together.
I've talked to you all day.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I've been doing homework most of the day. And we've been watching TV shows and taking care of baby girl.
I'm excited. You're our first guest with our new setup. As you guys can tell, we've got headphones on now. We can all hear each other talking. So if we're this super close, you can hear me too.
We were geeking out about this super hard whenever it showed up. And what else said that he whenever Gabby came home from work that night, he told Gabby about it. And after 10 minutes, Gabby was just like, "Can we go to bed?"
It was pretty late too, because she got home and I don't know what it was, or she was out door dashing and she got home and I was like, "Look, babe, look at all this stuff," and she's like, "Can we just go to bed?" I'm like, "Okay, let's go to bed."
Well, I was talking to Gabby the other day. I'm like, "What he'll talk to you about all this podcast stuff. After every decision he's ever made, he's just like, oh, we did this, this, and this," and she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Do you pretend and listen?" I'm just kidding.
She's like, "Yeah."
It's hard stuff. It's hard being a wife.
She's like, "I'm this close and not pretending anymore."
But I want to get straight into it. Obviously, everybody already knows you guys are new parents. You guys just had a baby. Well, got and had the baby. I want to get your pick on how your whole delivery process was.
All right. Nobody prepared me for this trauma that was going to occur. Also, it made me realize how the heck do we have a human population? Can we just say, why are people having kids? Because, it's not fun.
No,
it's
by
not
any
fun.
means.
And then going home with the new baby is literally no joke. It's the worst thing I've ever experienced. seriously, like it was freaking terrible. But let's take it back to me. Okay, first of all, like a few days before I went into labor, I thought I was in labor. I was taking a walkie and I was like, oh my God, I'm in labor.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were timing it. The app's like, go to the hospital. And I was like, all right, let's get it. So it was like pretty painful, but like I did not know what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, just to fast forward a little bit, is when we showed up to the hospital and we went, and then we showed up to like the labor delivery.
Triage.
Yeah, and there was like 2 night nurses there, and then they just look at it. We go to their desk because they tell us to go there, and we're standing there for like 20 seconds, and then the lady looks up at us and she's like, how can I help you?
And I was like, what am I supposed to tell you? Like, bitch, I'm in pain. Like,
Bro, I started like in my head laughing, and I'm like, what is this, like the grocery store? You're just like, how can I help you? I'm like, well, I'm in the labor delivery room, obviously I'm trying to have a baby. I just thought it was super funny.
So we went, right, and I was in pain, but like it was like we were just chilling. We were just chilling on the way there, just like talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go. Turns out, false labor, I think I was just experiencing, like, very painful Braxton Hicks. So I was like, whatever. So at that point, I knew, the next day I had an appointment with the OB, and she was like, listen, girl, like, if you're, like, almost 42 weeks pregnant, if you don't go into labor by the end of your 41 week, then we will induce you. And I had scheduled an induction like that Monday or something.
Yeah,
and it was
the Monday.
like, I don't know, it was the middle of the week. So I was like, okay, like I really had doubts that the baby was gonna come naturally, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get an induction. And I had been really scared of Pitocin, so I was like, whatever is just gonna happen. Also, I am scared on the weekend, or I was scared on the weekends because I was alone, so I was really scared to go into labor by myself because I didn't know what labor pain felt like, so I didn't know if I was gonna be able to do it all by myself.
Well, the good thing is that on Sunday.
Listen, hold on. You're skipping all the juicy juice.
No, I'm not. You're just taking so long to get there.
Pablo's like, just tell him.
Anyways, go on. I was just literally going to add to the part that you were going to say about being scared to be alone. I wasn't going to skip ahead. I was just adding more tidbits of information to your story.
Well, listen, I'm the guest here. Anyways, so
I'm the CEO.
I can't remember what day it was, but I was scheduled for induction on Monday, and I think Sunday I went into labor, and it was like midnight, and I knew it was like midnight, and I knew at that moment I had a contraction, like a real actual contraction. And then I opened my eyeballs and I was like, rats. Like, this is what they meant. Like, you know when you know in your labor. And I knew this was the start of my labor. And I just couldn't believe it because I was like, I know this is really early on in the game and it already hurts. So I like woke him up and I was like, you're not going to work, bitch.
And Pablo's like, yeah.
No, you told me to go to work. And I said I wasn't.
I don't know. I blacked out, honestly.
No, you told me to go to work, and I said no. So I called off. And it's a good thing I did because around 7, we went to the hospital.
At night. So I labored all day. You know, it was Unicorns and Sunshines. Like, the beginning of it, I was like, oh, I'm in pain. Like, it's fine. But I was managing so well. But that night, I did not get any sleep. So it started on midnight on, like, I guess, that Sunday. And I labored all day. And I think it was, like, noon. And I was like, it's been 12 hours. Like, my doctors are getting closer. Like, I feel like we're going to be in the hospital by, like, 4 p.m. That was not the case. I had to hang on even the 12 hours, and I had to hang on. But I just kept thinking, I'm like, this is really painful. But I was like, is this it? I just kept, like, I'm like, my contractions would just play me. They would get super close together, like, almost close enough to where I'm like, let's go to the hospital. And then they would just back off. And I'm like, dude, at the end, I was literally punching myself. I was like, please make it stop. I literally wanted to hurt myself so bad. Like, can I stab myself? Can I do something to take away, like, from the pain
labor pains?
Yeah, the labor
pains. Bro,
pain.
because it was crazy because she would have a contraction. And, like, for those, like, what, like, minute or so that the contraction lasted?
Yeah.
Like, it took her breath away and she couldn't do anything.
Holy cow.
Yeah, like, she had to sit still and, like, just, like, wait until it passed. But as soon as it passed, like, the next moment, she was fine. Like, she just started talking like this.
It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. Like, it's just, like, it made me realize that like all the pains I've ever felt before like was literally nothing, that this was it. So then finally I literally couldn't hang out anymore, and Pablo was like, you know what, like let's call. And we called in, and I got to the hospital around 8. And I was I don't think it was the same nurses, but I came in, they're like, oh yeah,
no, it was the same nurses.
They're like, we're keeping you here, like you made it. And I was like, don't even fucking talk to me. Give me drugs. I need drugs. Like,
I'm pretty sure like one of the first questions you asked was like, when can I get on drugs? Like the
epidural. Up to this
epidural.
point, I was like, will I get the epidural? Maybe. Will I not? Maybe. Like, I was not opposed. Like, I had no birth plan. I think they asked me if I had like a sheet. I said no. I'm raw dogging it because this is the best way. Like, I've learned about it through anatomy and physio. Like, I kind of know what to expect, but I was like, naive is power, in my humble opinion. I will just go through it very blindly. And
so going into it, you were kind of like on and off about if you were going to take meds or not?
I was just very loosey-goosey. I'm like, how can you prepare for something you've never experienced, and you don't know how you'll cope with pain? So I'm just like, I've never been in that world of pain, so I don't know how I'll be like. I don't know how I want support. I don't know anything. I'll just tell you as we go. So then I went, and very quickly things progressed. Like, I don't even know. I was in like the triage room for like such little time before our angel, Bella. I always remember my nurse. I loved her. She scooped me up and rolled me to my delivery room, and things got going like pretty fast after there. I feel like I blinked and I was already
it was crazy because like they asked her if she wanted to go on Pitocin to like speed up the process, and she said no. And then so she would like
break my water.
Oh, to break your water, right? So then what they ended up doing was like we would sleep, and then every so often like there was this like you know like the big medicine balls, they had one shaped like a peanut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like there was like different positions where they would have her sleep in, and that's supposed to like loosen everything up and get ready for childbirth. And every hour, 40 minutes.
She was on it because apparently if you stay on one side too much, like the epidural will go to one side, and then you'll get more epidural on one side than the other. I don't know. They kept moving me.
They have to like rotate you.
Yeah, I was like freaking salmon patty. Fucking.
I would have said a tortilla. Salmon patty is so weird to say.
I don't know. That just came to mind.
I would have said like something in the air fryer. You just keep moving it around.
Yeah. Or a burger. A salmon patty.
I was a fish.
Okay.
With a peanut in between my legs. So I was just like, honestly, it was nice because I got the epidural. Oh, people who are scared to get an epidural. It's literally not scary. I was having contractions during it, and it was really hard to stay still, but I was like, dude, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Like, the pain I felt for the epidural, and it was weird. It felt like hot liquid pouring down my leg.
Ooh.
And it also, I was like, put my socks on, and put my socks off, and you're like, maybe you don't have no socks, or maybe you told me I didn't have socks, and I just couldn't feel any sensation, like, at all. It was nice.
I think you asked me.
It was nice.
Yeah, I think you asked me if your socks were on, and I said yes, but you said that they weren't on, but they were on.
I don't know, but I have like this really, I'm like very claustrophobic, so I had to really detach with the fact that like I felt claustrophobia in my own body because I couldn't move it how I liked. If like I wanted them to like move my legs slightly an inch, I'd be like, move it here, move it there, and I had to really detach from the idea. I'm like
that you didn't have control over your legs.
I'm like, I'm okay, it's worth it. I love drugs. So I think I sent pictures to everybody else like, I love drugs.
I remember that picture, yeah.
This is nice. And after that, it was pretty smooth sailing, and we were able to take like a little bit naps here and there. But if there's one regret I had from my whole labor was waking you up so early because you had no sleep. So not only I had no sleep, I woke you up.
You're talking about from like Sunday at 1 a.m. when you woke me up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel so much regret because we were on such a high, but man, after we had her, we crashed so hard because none of us had gotten sleep. And you're my support person. I need you to not crash.
No, I was good. No, but there was times where I don't know if Vale was born yet at this time, but like no, I think she was because like different nurses come in at certain times, and one of them came. I think she was like a lactation like expert that came in to talk to you, and I was sitting there like trying to listen. And like just like learn about it too, because I know you were out from having a whole baby, And as she would talk, I just remember like I would black out, and I was trying to wake up and be a different nurse.
What the heck?
Because I would just sleep. I would just fall asleep sitting there. And I think, yeah, it was just weird. I feel like they saw me fighting sleep, and they're like, "Why are you fighting it?"
They're like, just go to bed.
Well,
Or
yeah,
just
there
sleep
was
a little.
there was this one lactation nurse that's just like, you don't need him to help you with everything, and she.
Oh,
was,
she told you that?
Yeah, you were.
I don't remember that.
You were asleep on the chair next to me, and she's like, "You can do this by yourself, can't you?" And I was like, I mean, I guess. She's like, and that's when she was starting to like coach me. She's like, listen, the way you're gonna make it through newborn life is for you to tag team, and for you to like, permit each other to take a rest, like, because in the first half of us being in the hospital, we would do everything as a team, and I feel like I needed the help because I really couldn't move that
But
much.
in the hospital, I feel like that was necessary because you had just given birth, and we're learning. So what better place to learn than when the professionals are there? But once we moved back home and we brought her home, we did that. Like, we were tag team.
I know, but the nurse was just like, you can change her by yourself. Like, you can swallow her by yourself. Like, you don't need your husband for everything. Like, let him rest. Like, he needs to rest. And I was like...
You're like, I'm the one that just gave birth.
Yeah, and then, like, vice versa, too, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, vice versa. But in the hospital, it's kind of, like, hard because it's just... You can only help. Like, I have to go through everything, obviously. Anyways, well, I progressed. I gave birth to...
Don't let me distract you.
I gave birth to Cavale. That was the weird experience of my whole entire life. Let me just say, I cannot believe I still look at her and I'm like, I cannot believe you were in my body and my body created you, because that's weird. That's so weird.
I still can't wrap my head around it too.
Like that was Vale. Like what?
Like, I mean, I obviously didn't go through any of what you guys did in the delivery room, but like when I first saw her, I'm like, that's a human being. Like, you guys just produced a human being. I'm an uncle. That's my niece.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome to see her and like see like the little parts that Pablo and you have like on her, like how she looks basically. And I just think it's like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, like, you guys are parents.
Yeah, same.
And
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, as of right now, we're like 2 months in, literally just over 2 months, and it's still kind of. At times, I look at her and I almost feel like it's somebody else's baby at times.
You think so?
At times, yeah. But obviously, like, I'm the dad. But sometimes, because I've never had to parent a baby, So sometimes I look at her and I literally think that she belongs to somebody else.
But it's crazy because now, like, I can't imagine. I don't remember you guys without her.
Same. Now that I have a baby, I'm like, why weren't we on top of the world? And why aren't we accomplished more than we've accomplished? Because... I cannot believe how much time we had on our hands and we did not use our time wisely.
Yeah.
Like you were tired? Like, nah, you weren't tired.
No. It's like you thought you were tired.
Yeah, it's crazy having a baby, but hospital life was kind of weird. We stayed for what, like 2 nights? 3 days?
2 nights, 3 days.
Dude, that was
terrible. We got home Wednesday.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Hospital food was great. The time there. Also, lactation nurses can make or break your hospital experience, as we come to realize. Because the first lactation nurse that I saw broke the whole breastfeeding journey for me.
Yep.
I couldn't bounce back from it.
What exactly does a lactation nurse do?
She teaches you how to latch your baby on to your breasts and stuff like that, and teach you how to breastfeed. Also, what a cruel crime that breastfeeding is not as natural as you think it is. Like, you think, like, pop them on, like, your baby is eating, it's great.
It's like a cruel trick from nature.
No.
Because, like, you would think that when a baby's born, the minimum they know how to do is eat. But they don't. Like, they don't know how to latch onto a nipple. Like, they tear that shit up. Like, that's, like, babies are born literally 100% useless.
Even their pooping and peeing is a little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like, you have to teach them how to eat properly. You have to teach them how to take the bottle and eat properly. Like, they don't know anything. You got to teach them. And how are you going to teach them without talking?
Yeah.
Also, another thing that nothing would have prepared me for was the amount of pain our bodies went through having ballet. Because it was like, think about, like, it's a workout that you've never experienced before. Like, all of a sudden you have a freaking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pound baby that you're constantly holding. Dude, our I was telling him about mother's wrist pain. Something I can't remember what the name of it is called. That like I was listening to a podcast that she was explaining how much her wrist hurt from picking up her baby, and you kind of blew me off. At the hospital, he was in so much pain. He's like, dude, our delts, our arms, our wrists, our hands.
my trap, like right back here, dude.
So much pain, and that's never anything I would have like thought we would experience.
Yeah,
it was so painful. And now you like my dad was carrying Vale. He's like, God damn, like and she is such a little tank of a little human being. Yeah. She's so heavy, but now like I feel like we're conditioned to carry her, but when other people carry her, like they start feeling that pain. I'm like, dude, push on for like 24 hours with that human being for a week straight. It's painful.
I can relate to that slightly because I carried her for like 10-15 minutes and my arm hurt. I couldn't imagine doing it for hours on end.
I mean, now she's heavier and now she goes down easier. She like wants to sleep now, which is nice. But that first week, she was either in your arms like most of the day or like asleep or trying to sleep because damn, she was barely sleeping at first.
I think like the first 2 nights, like she barely even slept in her bassinet. Like it
was on arms.
Oh, phew. Yeah, bringing home a newborn. Also, I like if we ever have another baby, which I really don't want to, but we might just do like one more like later, much later. But like, I see why I tell you, I couldn't understand. I'm like, what do you mean? You can't cook? Like, why do you have to have frozen meals? Or like, why do people bring you like meals? Like, I just didn't understand. Yeah. I'm like, oh, young, dumb Sanch.
And broke.
What was I even thinking that I would have literally a spare moment? I barely had moments to brush my teeth. Like how was I supposed to make a full on meal?
For anybody out there who is like, if you or somebody you know recently had a kid, the best thing you can do to support them is honestly just take them meals. Like if you can give them a meal that'll last like 1 or 2, maybe even like 3 days or so, that's like perfect.
Yeah, that was like the best help that we received because my fridge was not stocked. I was not prepared. Also, I never was prepared for the hunger. Like I had never known true hunger and true thirst until I started breastfeeding because
that probably takes a toll on you, right?
The first night in the hospital, first of all, I had really bad nausea my whole pregnancy, so I was really scared of food, and I really thought that it would be a gradual change for me. Like, I thought I was still going to be sick after having Vale, so I did not experience. I'm like, oh, I won't want to eat just like when I was pregnant. And that first night, I had no food, no snacks, no nothing, and I gave birth to her in the morning. But that night, I think I might have not even ordered dinner. I was like, I don't need dinner. It was like 3 a.m. and I was begging my nurse. I'm like, what do you got? I'm like, what do you got? She gave me like
saltine crackers,
and that's how I survived until the morning. But I was so thirsty and I was so hungry, and I was so surprised that I did not puke, because that had been like the first time in months that I had not puked food.
Yeah, you haven't thrown up since you gave birth.
Oh no!
Because of a food that que te dio asco, like that hasn't happened.
Yeah, I've been throwing up for different reasons. I'm going through some health issues, but because of like food being like triggering like something in me, I have not.
Also, quick shout out to Gabs, who's on the other side of the wall, for helping out on that first night. Oof.
Oh yeah.
Talk to us.
We would not have been able to make it through that first night if it wasn't for Gabby.
Also, we're done. Can we just say? That first day we came home from the hospital, that was the most chaotic time of our lives. Listen, it all happened because Sanch the Ranch himself.
And Metal.
Well, I thought I was going to come home being all cute and breastfeeding my child. That was not the case. I had to be a pumping mom because Vale destroyed my nips. Yeah. My nips could not come back from what she did to me. Yeah. Again, because of lactation consolidants. So she really she set the domino effect in my breastfeeding journey, and it was not good. So we were not prepared because I was like, we're not going to need bottles. I was even lucky I even bought bottles because I was just so like, I want to breastfeed, of course. Like, I do breastfeed, but like,
we had like 2 bottles, I think.
Yeah, we had 2 bottles, and I was just like, whatever. I didn't even sanitize them. I didn't boil them. Like, they were still in their packaging. And Pablo forgot like a screw thing that we needed.
No. So when you leave the hospital, they give you a bunch of goodies, right? And they gave us like the little bottle that we were using to feed her, and with that came like a couple nipples and like just a screw that came on, right? So I brought home like 3 bottles, a couple of the screws, and something else. And when we came back, and Vale was like losing her mind because she was hungry.
She had a blowout and she needed to be fed. And we had just come home from the hospital.
Yeah, and I was looking for the stuff, and I got everything out, and I couldn't find the damn nipple to the fucking bottle. I just didn't bring one. I forgot it. I forgot all of them at the hospital.
Oh,
so
shit.
I needed to pump. Vale had a blowout all over her fucking pants.
Yeah.
There was no nipple, so that means we had to boil hot water
and
sanitize her bottles.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we get a knock on our door from maintenance saying that they needed to be in our apartment to screw on handles to the cabinets. And I literally looked at him so destroyed. I was like, listen, I just got out of the hospital.
I answered the door. You were at the couch. You didn't talk to the man. You fucking
all
liar.
I don't remember nothing. I just remember bits and pieces. I tried to block it out. That was the most traumatic time. I was like, no.
because I opened the door and it was like somebody from maintenance, and he looked at me like, oh shit, like something's going on. He might have noticed the look on my face or whatever.
We were dead inside.
Yeah, but I told him, I'm like, look, man, we just got back from the hospital. My baby's losing her shit. Like, we're first time parents. We're trying to feed her. Like, can you come back another time? And he's like, yeah. And then he left. And then later on came I think the head of maintenance. And he's like, hey man, he's like, don't worry about it. We'll come back tomorrow during this time. And I'm like, that's perfect, because when you come back the next day, you have to go back to the hospital for like a checkup or something.
Yeah.
And like while we were gone, they came in and did all the handles. But in the moment, I'm just like, bro, this is literally the least of my worries.
My tits were out. He was in his underwear. Vale was crying. I'm trying to boil water. The girl is hungry. I'm like, we can't do this right now. And I don't even know what happened, but the point is, at some point in the night, Vale was crying, Pablo was crying, I was crying, and I was like, listen, Gabs, please help me.
Save the day.
Before also, I couldn't pump because I had to sanitize all my pump parts, and also it was a new pump that I had not.
It was first time using it, so you didn't know how to do.
Put it together. So then Gab is trying to put, and then you also you had to go. You also had to leave to go to Walmart to get my pain meds. Remember,
yes,
that's why it was such a hot mess. So Gabs, I literally was so broken, so broken inside.
Yeah, dude. If it wasn't for Gabby, then I would have gone so sideways.
So she saw my tits for the first time. It was nice. She saw you in your boxers and Pernice like bawling her eyes out.
I think I was at work that night and she texted me saying I got to go over to PK's because they're like freaking out. And then she texted me again. She's like, I just saw them both naked. I'm like, damn, it's that bad.
I was respectful. I had boxers on at least.
Also, can I say, I am so comfortable being naked. I was like, you want to see my tits? Like, you want to see my tits? Let's do it. I had full conversations with people, and I was literally, like, naked. Like, birth
because you get used to it in the hospital.
It makes you so shameless. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Because there's, like, a lot of people there that saw your private parts.
Yeah. Literally everybody. The cleaning people. Literally everybody saw my privates.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll be naked. It's fine.
That's how it'll be.
Yeah. So that's the beginning of our parenthood, and it was honestly the worst. Our baby is also very particular about how she likes things. She's definitely not a quiet baby. She's a very loud baby.
She's recently been really talkative. Like, she doesn't talk, but
like babbling.
Yeah, she babbles, and like she like wants to have a conversation with you,
which is the cutest thing ever. The other day she was laying on the couch when Pablo was over we were testing all this stuff out, and I just had my hand over her head, like, or her face, just doing that, and she looked up and she started laughing, and then I put my hand down, she looked over at me and she started like babbling, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to die.
You explode.
Yeah, I'm about to explode.
I cannot believe like this much has happened since like 2 months ago, because we had literally like a rock, like a human that didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's been easily the longest 2 months I have ever lived.
Longest but shortest, because I think about it and I'm like, I look at the pictures of how we brought her home from the hospital, and I'm like, I cannot believe this is what you look like and how much you've grown. I like look at her at nighttime and I'm like, I can almost see her like growing and like changing, and it's like so weird to have this big baby now. Big,
Yeah,
she's 2 months, but
Yeah, 2 months,
big.
but she's wearing 3 to 6 month old clothing.
She's chunkers.
Yeah, but that's her fault. She likes to eat.
Well, that's her only job. I was reading that their only job right now is to like eat as much as they can. Like they really have to be bulking. It's like bulking season for her, so that
She's
she's
doing a
doing
good job.
perfect.
Oh, put some creatine in there.
Yeah.
Start putting protein powder and BCAAs.
Yeah. What do you think was the hardest part about delivering the baby?
Well, I was so surprised because I thought the epidural would give me immunity, and I would just like
Immunity.
like just blow through the birth. I'll be like, and she's out. But I was very surprised that it was still a painful experience. Like I was like I still like kind of like yelling a little bit or like
A
screaming.
little bit, girl. You were at the top of your lungs screaming.
I
It
saw
was
the
like a
video.
war cry.
It was so like also pushing a lot harder than I expected. I literally, like I said, I barely did any research. I just went through this very blindly, so I was very surprised. Oh, dude, crowning, because she, it was all cute. We did practice pushes with Bella, and it was cute. I was like, push, push, and then she's like, "Oh, we have to get her through your pelvis," and I'm like, "How will I know when she's like out of my pelvis?" She's like, "You'll know." Boy, did I know. The screaming started happening. When she got below my pelvis and very close to crowning, I cannot believe the world of pain I was in.
Yeah.
And I was on drugs.
Yeah. She told me that before that Violet was born to like go like this and like stretch your mouth out as hard as you can and hold it there for like 20 to 30 seconds. And then that feeling you get now, like imagine that like in your like down here, yeah. I'm sure that's like it's actually way worse in real life than this, but this is a close enough simulation to when I did it. I was like, I'm glad I'm a guy.
I've heard that like women end up needing surgery down there because the baby ends up like being too big for like their body, and it like ends up like ripping into their butthole.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I was so scared. My tia, she's a little lady. She's like very petite, like Gabby, very very small, and her husband has like a hunking head, and all her babies have a hunking head,
shit.
and 10-pound babies out of her little coochie, and ripped her like from top to bottom. And every time my dad would talk about it, I'm like, please don't tell me, because that's like my worst. Like that's like my worst. What was that called?
Nightmare
Fear. Yeah, I did not want to tear. And the whole time, I was looking at TikTok, and they're like, do this and this not to tear. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna raw dog it. I don't know. But God bless her soul. She like lubed me up. Stretched me out in all the best ways. And I think I had the smallest little tear and the smallest little stitch, and it was nice.
That's good.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like on like your taint. It was just like inside.
I don't have no idea where it happened.
Yeah.
Also, delivering my placenta, I heard that you're gonna be too busy to find out, like
when it comes out,
to even realize when it comes out. But I delivered Vale, and I was still in a lot of pain, and I felt like a lot of like weird sensations. And she's like, "Don't worry, it's all gonna go away like once you deliver your placenta." And I don't know if I pushed. She put her hand in my coochie. Like I don't know what happened, but that bitch came out, and I was like, oh, "That's nice." It's like the pain went away.
It was like instant relief, right?
It was so much relief. I was like, "That's nice."
Did they let you keep the placenta?
I think if you ask, right?
Yeah,
but we
I could
didn't.
have, but I told him to throw that away and
Yeah.
don't use my stem cells. No, thank you, not mine.
What? Why?
Because someone else would just take my stem cells. Like if I was keeping them, I wanted them, but like I don't want them to. I don't want to give them to research. Like I don't know what they're doing with those things.
Curing cancer?
Not with my cells, somebody else's. So.
But yeah, it was a rough journey, and overall, I mean, it was like the end result was nice. But
I had a brief like what's it called, like the Arthur like
vision,
like just thinking back,
flashback.
Yeah, when I got to the hospital, and they probably thought he was like beating me up, and like because that one guy who stopped us was like, "You okay?" And I was like, motherfucker, I'm having a contraction.
Oh, well, and at the hospital, I was asleep, and she told me that it's like routine that they go and ask her, like, hey, like,
CBD.
like, is he
really?
abusive to you? Yeah. But it's just like a routine thing that they do with, like, anybody. That they have to go and ask just in case, like, there's some, like, home abuse. And she told me that, and I kind of laughed. I'm like, if anything, it's the other way around.
Oh, stop
Like,
it.
they should have asked me if I'm getting abused.
Ooh, also, if you're about to give birth, or if you know somebody's gonna give birth, please give them a comb. That's like the best pain relief.
Comb?
A comb.
Comb?
Like while you're having contractions, like when pain.
Oh, bro.
That's
Okay.
the best.
Really?
That's the best
Bro,
way.
so you know, like the small plastic ones?
Uh-huh.
That's like half of it is a certain length, the other half is like tighter.
Mm-hmm.
During her contractions, like towards the end, she was like combing her hair, getting ready to the hospital or something. I don't know what she was doing, but she was holding one. She held it the whole way to the hospital. We went into like the triage, and she was holding the comb, and whenever she would get it, she would just squeeze, cause like the bristles on the end, like pressing up against her hand. That pain was better than the pain that was going in like down here.
Oh.
There's,
So
like,
she would use that
science to
pain to like distract herself.
So that's the whole purpose of it, just to distract you from the pain?
Yeah, because you're just
Yeah.
firing different pain receptors instead of like the ones that are being fired
Yeah,
currently.
yeah.
And I just went to the hospital holding my comb, fucking.
Yeah, it was funny because once we got there and like settled in the triage place, I like made fun of her because I'm like, bro, you dead ass showed up all the way over here holding a comb the whole time.
You're like,
nice.
I'm ready.
It got me through. It literally got me through.
Yeah, but yeah, I would do it again in like 5 years, 6 years.
I was telling him I could have been a one and done kind of family, but I was reflecting and I was like, I feel complete-ish for now, but I do feel like there's like one more missing puzzle piece to our family.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really, really mad when I came to that conclusion. I'm like, I cannot believe I'm going to go through this. I feel like as soon as I feel that labor pain, like I will always remember that pain that like literally knocked me out of my sleep. As soon as I feel it, I'm gonna be like so freaking mad.
Because you're like,
I'm
I
like,
did it to myself
why
again. Why am I here?
did I do that? Why?
Yeah.
Also, if I get pregnant again, like years down the road, I would be so mad if I am sick again.
Because you were
Like
sick a lot
nauseous?
during your pregnancy.
I was so sick that my dentist was like, "Ooh, are you doing okay?" And I was like, "Why?" She said, "Because your teeth are eroding." He could tell that I've puked so much in this past year because I have like damage to my oral health, and it was so heartbreaking to hear because you know how I am about teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's tough. I know, so I did a lot of research. I like doing a lot of research when family members are like going through things so I can like stay in touch. But this is kind of more on the serious side, but I know some new mothers have like phantom baby, I think it's what it's called. So like they just had their baby, but like do you feel like a part of you is missing in a way since Violet's not in your stomach anymore?
You know, I thought I would miss it or feel like I literally felt so much relief. Like after she got out, it's like it was destiny. Like it felt like that was the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
I did not miss being pregnant. I didn't feel like
I think it's
anything.
because you didn't have a good pregnancy.
I feel like the first, even like I gave birth, I was already sleeping on my stomach like that in the hospital, like because I just missed it so much. Like it felt so good to almost feel like my old self slightly. Like I felt so much relief giving birth to her. So like no, like coming home, it was a little weird not to have a big old belly.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't feel anything.
Well, even like whenever like I hug you or something, I got so used to holding your belly and like sometimes like feeling her kick that instinctively I go to hold your belly the same way again, and it feels I'm like, oh wait, there's not a baby in there. You know what I mean?
But no, it's fine. It was I also my belly went down very, very fast. Like I know like some women still like look like it's very normal to like 6 months pregnant after you give birth, and I don't feel like it was the case for me.
Yeah, so you know the secret to eating whatever you want and not gaining weight is breastfeeding. Because when she was breastfeeding, or I mean just pumping in general, like producing milk for Vale, even to this day, she eats whatever, pretty much whenever, as much as she wants, and she's still dropping weight from the pregnancy.
Dang.
Well, I
Yeah.
didn't gain weight in my pregnancy. I lost weight and like regained that weight. So like that 10 pound, I lost 10 pounds and I only gained those like 10 pounds. So I was back to my original pre-pregnancy weight. But now
Yeah.
I'm even like slimmer than I was.
Yeah, and like
before
your
I got
body just
pregnant.
like getting back to how it used to be. With like you haven't exercised
No.
like in a formal way since, you know.
I mean, carrying that is an exercise. But
Yeah, so I said in a
grocery
formal
shopping
way.
is an exercise. Oh, let me tell you about that. Yeah, but squeezy.
I don't know. But yeah, I think one more and I'm good.
Yeah.
You know,
Want to know what's crazy?
you're pregnant.
What's up, babe?
Is your dog in there?
Mm-hmm.
Is he?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's under the tripod over here.
Okay, I'm like, I lost it.
She like looked over like at least 5 times. I'm like, no, I don't know, because I couldn't see over
Yeah,
there.
he's hanging out under the tripod.
Oh, that was
Chill out.
that's your feet.
Yeah, it's my feet.
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
Anyways.
Something I wanted to ask, because we talk about it a lot, and maybe we can introduce this as a segment on the podcast, and we'll call it Your Side of the Internet. So every now and then we'll be talking, and we'll be like, "Has this showed up on your side of the internet?" Because we're on different sides.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
her
different
side
sides.
is very much like baking, like mom stuff, more like stuff like that, you know. And my side is more like gym and like military stuff and just like more things of that nature. And sometimes our paths like connect, and it's weird whenever that happens. So I want to ask, what's on your side of the internet recently?
What's on my side of the internet? Well, I miss cooking so much because like that last bit of pregnancy, like smelling, even just standing on my feet, like in the kitchen, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Mhm.
So I discovered some chefs. I didn't even know what their channel names are, but
Oh, you
like,
told me about him like 2 days ago.
oh yeah, one is like more of a home cooker, and I've tried like 2 other recipes, and I'm
They
like,
slapped.
they've been really good. So, and then this other guy, he's like, he has a series. It's like this, but like try to make it as cheap as possible. Oh, he also races. He's like, he orders like pad thai, and then he's like, can I make pad thai faster than like getting it delivered?
Oh, that's
So then
interesting.
he sends somebody out, and
That's
he
some
like
good content
he like
right there. Yeah,
races.
dude.
Yeah, I really been liking that.
That's cool.
Honestly, I have not been watching too much stuff on my side of the internet. I mean, I been watching Grey's Anatomy. Basically, that's like the only thing. I
Yeah.
kind of stopped watching YouTube because it's been
Yeah.
kind of dry since freaking Christmas
Since
is over
Christmas.
and all the.
That's normally how it goes. Everything starts to regulate back to what it used to
January
be.
through like this almost close up to the summer is like the driest part of YouTube. Like
Yeah.
views are so low, like nobody's really watching YouTube because I feel like this like the New Year's resolution. Oh, I'm gonna get off YouTube because it's always distracting me, so I'm gonna go to the gym now. But it's usually the slower time.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I haven't been watching. It's just been a lot of cooking content. Like I've been really inspired to like. I really want to get to the point where someone can give me like a turn up, and I'm like, oh, like I'm gonna make this and this out of it. Like I really want to be like, give me an ingredient, and I can just like base off a whole like menu off that ingredient. So I've been really excited to like get more time on my hands. Like I'm hoping about it like nap some more because I would love to start like baking from scratch, cooking from scratch, like all the things that I love to do.
Sourdough would be nice.
I know. I need to bring my sourdough.
You make some really good sourdough.
I need to bring her back. I miss her. So that's what I've been doing. Also that and like obviously like mom content. Just not even like tips and tricks. I watch like the WODs and I just watch her freaking just like. She has 5 kids and she has a big old house and she just like what I really like about it is that most people when they do a montage it's just like a montage and some music. What I like about her is that she'll like put on like a little like or she's talking to a mic and she'll talk like the whole time about her thoughts like what's been going through her life. She's like and like talks about X, Y, and Z. So it's not only like nice to see her clean, but she's like also
So it's
talking.
like a cleaning montage, but while the montage is going on, instead of the music, it's just
Her
her
talking.
just having her thoughts.
Almost like a podcast too, and like she'll stop it and she'll be like, okay, now guys, like now I'm gonna like cook this dinner, and she like talks or whatever. But I really like how it's not just like music, because I'm like it keeps me stimulated like the whole time.
Yeah.
Anyways,
What about you?
about it.
What's been something that you've been seeing a lot or popped up a lot on your side of the internet?
My side of the internet is mostly like gym stuff, and then YouTube creators / like just YouTube content. But recently it's been KSI just did his boxing event.
Yes,
It's
he
been
did.
filled with all of that, like all of the highlights of that, and also Bradley Martin's new gym opening. It's been filled with that too.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this new gym called?
Well, it's the same gym. He's just opening up another location.
Yeah.
He got
But-
money.
Yeah, his gym is called Zoo. Zoo
Oh, I know.
Culture.
I knew what his gym.
Oh yeah.
Also, like, what a weird time that like we were so into the gym world. I mean, I still like it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just so crazy to see that like they still have a life and like nothing has changed.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like they're growing in
yeah,
that aspect.
yeah, because I am like, I have a couple people that from like, wasn't a phase, but just when I was like really hardcore into like gym YouTubers and all that stuff. Like Bradley Martin is kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. A lot of his content I don't really like anymore. But I really like his clothing, raw gear. I love it so much. I like the aesthetic and everything. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really follow a lot of the gym people anymore. And a little while back, I went through and people that like on my Instagram that I followed that I wouldn't see them for a while, I just unfollowed. I'm like, I haven't seen their stuff in like a couple months. Fuck it, and I unfollow.
Yeah, I have to do that every once in a while too, because I think like some people I watched a while ago when I was into a certain thing on YouTube, I follow them on Instagram, but now it's like I watched a lot of Pokemon Go like last year, and I think like last week or 2 weeks ago I unfollowed a bunch of Pokemon Go content creators just because I'm not really into that anymore. But like one I didn't unfollow is Mystic7. He's probably like my favorite.
Wait, so for some people it's important, but I don't give a shit. So let me ask you. So are you particular about like, let's say you follow 600 people, you have to like that follower to who you're following ratio, like you always want to like follow less people than you have followers. At some point it was a thing, and I don't give a shit. I think I follow like literally like 700 people and I only have like 400 followers.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
When I was first into Instagram, yeah, like back in high school when I first got Instagram, yeah, I was like, I need more followers. Like, yeah, but now I don't care. I think unless you're like I don't even know if that's a metric that like businesses look to see, like if you're following more people than are following you, if that hurts you to get brand deals. I don't think that matters. I think what matters for that aspect is engagement.
I didn't know if that was a thing that people still did. I know
I definitely think
so.
I think it definitely is as far as like clout. Like let's say because like sometimes, well, most of the time, if you follow somebody, they're gonna follow you back. So like if you have 1,000 followers and you have 1,000, or if you're following, yeah, usually it's because you followed them, not because they saw your content and followed you. So like if you have like if you're following like 500 people but have like 10K followers, it's like, oh, this guy's doing something cool.
Yeah. So
like it's more of like a content relativity and like.
Yeah, I know a while back there was this trend that was like follow for follow.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, people would be sly about it, and you would follow each other. Yeah, and after like 2-3 weeks, they would unfollow you.
And you're still following them,
Yeah,
so
and
then their like ratio gets better.
Yeah. I don't think that matters anymore, but then again, I'm not that big into Instagram like that.
One thing that's funny on my side of the internet is that one thing that hasn't changed is that I still watch KYR Speedy.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Like his back when we were kids, we used to watch him all the time. He would do GTA content, and at some point he like collabed with the Sidemen when they were still really small. And he's still a pretty big Twitch streamer right now, and he does a lot of Among Us gaming, and it's just I just think it's so funny. Like whenever I'm eating, I just put him on and watch Among Us.
Nice,
Oh
nice. he had a YouTube group called The Crew, and they ended up splitting up for whatever reason, but he was like one of like I think one of the main guys, like I guess you could say like the leader of the group. And he was just super funny.
Wait, is PewDiePie still making videos?
Yeah.
Is he still the most followed person on YouTube?
No.
I would still give him the props of being the most followed YouTuber. Mr. Beast surpassed him in subscribers, but Mr. Beast has like a whole team of hundreds of people behind him. PewDiePie is just his one singular person.
Wait.
Well, he's got an editor.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. I think it's literally just him, an editor, and maybe like that's probably just it. But yeah. What?
I had this little bit, like, there's a gamer. I don't know if you guys probably know him.
Maybe.
There's a gamer that apparently never showed his face.
Dream.
Yeah, and he showed his face, and everybody fucking dogged on him.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Wait.
"That's so
How long
rude."
ago did that happen?
That happened like
It's like a couple months
in November
ago.
because I think it was my last walk, and he showed his face, and I got to my side of the internet, and I was like, I cannot believe like this gamer finally got the balls to show his face, and everybody's like, that's
And
it.
everybody shitted on
And I'm like,
him.
dude, that is so mean. I wonder
Are
what
you
he looks
serious?
like.
Yeah, like the courage of him to show his face. I feel like he was really nervous with it because everybody was making fun of him because he was only showing one side of his face, and they thought he was like just trying to flex his jawline. But like he's never like had.
He's a handsome
webcam.
fella.
Yeah.
Well, let me see what he looked like.
See, you see that meme on the very far left?
Yeah.
They kept on joking
So,
about him.
so look, this is his face. He's handsome, but then people like did this. Look. Yeah, he's a good looking dude. He's not ugly.
Oh, but I was.
But the internet
listening-
just they're vicious.
I was listening to a podcast about how, like, if there's one thing he is like hella smart, because how much money did he make by showing his face? Because he got hella views.
Yeah.
He made a pretty penny.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
But
real nice.
on the other end, I feel like some people liked to watch him because there was like a certain appeal to it.
Because he was
It's fine.
anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think he does face cams, does he?
I don't know. I think honestly, like I think his viewership went down after he showed his face.
Yeah.
Don't
No
quote
way.
me.
Yeah.
It's okay. He made his coin. He's
But,
fine.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but like for one moment,
But he has been putting YouTube videos. For
he's a
50
good
years.
YouTuber.
He's fine.
He'll do alright.
Because like he's done so many collabs with Mr. Beast, like a lot of kids know him, and like he does Minecraft stuff.
Wait,
so.
will you have a bag over his face or something? Like, how did they not?
No, he
how did
didn't. He just
collab?
never did a face cam.
like a collab as far as like Mr. Beast's gaming channel?
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
see. I
Yeah.
thought you meant like he would show up.
Oh
to
no,
Mr. Beast with, like,
he just
bag
had his
over
mask
head.
on the whole time.
Oh, also, the Try Guys. Damn, hear about that?
Try guys.
That's kind of old news now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like
Red
BuzzFeed type.
BuzzFeed.
Yeah, like super like more generic content like that, like super family friendly type stuff.
Uh-huh.
These 4 guys called Try Guys who do a bunch of different stuff, but the gist of the story is one of them who was like super devoted to his wife and was like,
That's his personality.
yeah, made it his whole personality trait to be a good husband.
Oh, I
got
heard
caught
about
cheating with a coworker, and it was this huge thing. That was a couple months ago.
Yikes.
But
Sorry, guys,
That-
disappointing. That's old news. But I was like trying. I'm like, what things have like not baking and fucking cooking that have I listened to? That's basically it.
yeah. Well, real quick
I'm
on
a grandma.
my side, this is kind of more like on like the more like adult side, I guess. Not
Ooh, okay.
yeah, it is a scandal. So military side of the internet has been dogging on this lady.
Oh yeah.
The police officer.
See, you know about it too.
Yeah.
And every now and then something like cop related or like military type stuff, like a meme that the military catches and just fucking goes in ham, like gets released to the public, and I find it so funny.
So what exactly is the whole story
So
behind that?
the female police officer got fired because she got caught sleeping with either 5 or 6 of her cop coworkers.
Wait, is that a gangbang or is gangbang something different?
Well, I don't know. No, gangbang is like if 5 or 6 of them would happen at once.
With one lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happened. That's not what happened.
I think I think there might have been a couple, like 2 guys that teamed up on her or whatever.
This got very sexual.
Yeah.
Cancel that, please.
but it's funny because she got solidified in like the military memes that nobody will ever let her go for the rest of the time. Cause like he's a Marine.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you know that girl. It was a girl who did.
Oh, the TikTok dance.
Yeah.
yeah. Right
yeah.
then she's like, he's a Marine.
Yeah.
She got solidified, and nobody will ever let her go for the rest of however long she lives.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I can't show up to nowhere in
Yeah.
military esque.
Yeah, and the thing is, instead of like where she went wrong was instead of just kind of like laughing about the whole shit, she'd be like, "Oh, I'm dumb." She was like, "Nah, I'm cringy. I'm gonna embrace the cringe."
And she kept doing it.
And she did more cringy stuff like that, and people were like, "Nah, dude." Yeah, but that's just something that was recent on my end.
Anyways, the lady, she got fired. But I'm like,
I don't know if the male cops got fired.
if she
though.
got fired and not the male cops, I'm throwing hands.
That's sexist.
Because I'm like, it takes, and also why would she get fired? Unless it was at work, fine. But I'm like, if it happened outside of work, like that's your prerogative, like what you do outside of work.
Did they? I don't know. Have you seen the video? Okay, I haven't.
No,
I haven't either.
No, like
I'm
the
just
video
saying,
covering it, or like.
Like I'm saying, like if she
Like there was a sex tape?
No,
like I'm
baby.
saying, the only logical reason I could think of her getting fired is that they did all that in uniform.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then that
I
makes
doubt
sense.
it. I doubt it happened on the job. It was probably like a after the job kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Still weird that she got fired. I'm like, if anybody got fired, it should have been all of them. But if only the lady got fired,
yeah.
that's weird.
And then a bunch of people are dogging on the husband because he was like, "It's okay, I forgive her."
Fucking cook.
Yeah, exactly. So a bunch of people are dogging on him about it.
Mm.
Yeah, and then,
Memes are so fun.
yeah, I mean, other than that, just my normal podcast related stuff.
Also, well, are we all having a quarter life crisis? I was just thinking about it. I'm like, I think we're all having a quarter life crisis because we're all around 25. I mean, tú estás viejito.
Yo, chill.
But like,
I'm only 26.
We're about to hit
Only.
20, we're about to hit 25. Gabs, me, you, and I'm like, are you feeling it? Like, I heard 25 was a hard year, and like, they're not lying. 25.
Well, Pablo's been.
Well, I lived
was
through
25.
it. It was terrible.
Fuck.
Because I feel like I'm only just now starting to do things that I love, like the podcast and like school's it's just something I'm doing. But like I like the podcast and I have like a vision of where this stuff is going. But I'm 26 and it's not happening now. And granted, when I'm 36, I'm gonna be like, bro, what was I worrying about? I was young.
See, that's the thing. I'm already having those thoughts now as a 24-year-old. I'm like, oh, like I'm doing
But
all
you're
this
headed
stuff.
that way. You're about to hit.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that because so many people close to me are doing things that they planned for and like they're making money and they're doing great and stuff, I instinctively compare myself to them, which then on my end is just super bad. But pretty much all of my 25th year of life was a back and forth between that. And now coming into my 26th year, I'm okay where I'm at. Like I know there's like everyone has a different path or whatever, and I'm just like just working on my thing. You know what I mean?
It's super difficult once you get stuck into the hole of comparing yourself to others. I tend to fall into that hole a lot, but I always check myself. I'm like, hey, like they're in a whole different situation that you are. Like they have different things going on in their lives. Like,
yeah, but I think a lot of it comes from being raised to where you always get compared to somebody else.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
You always get compared to a cousin your age or like your younger brother, your older brother, or like
a
friend or like, you always get compared. So.
Yeah, I was washing dishes. I'm like, damn, it's happening to me. I'm having a quarter life crisis. I really, really am.
Yeah, it happens, and it hit me kind of rough, and I'm like coming out of it slowly.
Yeah,
Sure.
I can kind of notice it that you're coming out of it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like for you, I think for both of you specifically, since you're the firstborns, you've been compared to a lot of people as kids, especially Pablo. I don't really know about you because I wasn't around, but like I firsthand saw Pablo being compared to like our cousins and all that, and they're like, "Oh, why aren't you as fit as him? Why don't you do that?" And I'm just like, "Damn, like." Pablo's his own person, bro. Relax.
Yeah, bro. I was just trying to play some Zelda, to be honest.
And also the added pressure that because he was the oldest, you have to be a role model for all your siblings. Ugh. Can I just say, like, birth order really does matter, and it really does shape, like, almost like your adult experience.
The order that you were born in?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
A
thing.
lot.
Like, I see you as my older brother, but
Yeah.
it's not like, and I look up to you.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh, fuck, Pablo's up here. It's like, no, like, we're all grown adults now.
Yeah.
We, like, give each other advice on everything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, you're my younger brother by, like, what, like 15, 16 months, like a year and a half or something.
Uh-huh.
But, like, there's moments where I'm like, all right, like, I look up to you and, all right, I could be doing better for my YouTube that I want to get back into doing, So there's moments where I look up to you and there's moments you look up to me. But, like you said, we're all just adults now. So we're just kind of, all right, if I need help on something, I know where to go to.
My parents still kind of, I feel like.
Yeah, but that's just the culture, I guess. I don't know.
There's just so much pressure. But
Yeah.
Do you
It's
find
okay.
yourself having pressure and, like, giving advice to your siblings?
I don't feel like there is. It's just my parents and I have slightly different opinions about different things. Like, if my parents are like hip for the time, like
For their age,
for
yeah.
their age, and then being Mexican.
Mhm.
But I feel like there's still so much more that they could be hip with the times with.
Yeah, just more accepting.
So it's kind of nice because I was like to Jamie, I'm like, if you need me to bail out of jail, like I will not lecture him, because I'm like, if anything, I'm like, dude, live your life safely, respectfully, don't hurt anybody. Like, live your life, have so much fun, have more liberty than I
Yeah.
did, but like, just know that I have your back and I will bail you out of jail.
Yeah.
Just don't do it like now, because I don't have monies. But like, when I have monies, like, that's totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Then he can go crazy. We just bail him out every time.
And Emily too. I'm just like, you know
Yeah.
what? If there's anything, I am so happy right now to be an older sister, because I feel like I figured out life by myself, because my parents didn't know any better. Like, they didn't know what being raised in America was like.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was the first, so of course it's trial and error. But now Emily has like an older sister, so she can come to me and talk to me about like literally anything. And I feel like one thing I've learned and worked on my adult life is not to be so reactive. It's just like, oh, it is what it is. I can offer you a piece of advice, not turn everything into a lecture, because that's hard. But just being like, it is what it is. Like, this is X, Y, and Z, and I won't tell mom. Like, it's literally fine. Like,
Yeah.
we're chilling.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I like to think that as serious as life can be, I try to not take it as serious, because then that's where I start like losing my shit. So obviously, like, I have goals and aspirations, and I'll do them, but in a more lighthearted way. Like, obviously, if something serious happens, then I obviously have the ability to take something super serious, but I find that super draining for my personality to constantly be serious and constantly be serious.
Yeah.
I like to be serious in a funny way. And that's what helps me out.
Also, parenthood really like shook things up for us,
Yeah.
because it made us
Yeah.
have like a slight crisis of being like, what? Because you have such limited time.
That's man.
You have such limited time. Like, you need to really hone in on the things that like you want to do, spend time doing. Like, once Vale has like, you know, is not like as dependent on us, like, what do we want, like, what do we envision ourselves doing?
Yeah, I think having her help both of us kind of be like, all right, this is where we're at, this is where we have been, and this is where we want to go. How do we get to where we want to go? You know, because we've had more talks like that, and we're taking more action towards it.
Yeah, crisis.
So-
I still don't know what direction I'm taking.
Yes, you do.
One
You just
day
have
I
trouble
want to be
committing.
a radiologist. The next day I'm like, I'm gonna be a farmer. I like, buy me some land. I'll live with the earth. And other days I'm like,
I want to
I'm
talk about that a little before we end it off.
Uh-huh.
What are your career goals now?
Oh.
Because I know the other day you were talking like, if like just now we were talking about like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. But before like you gave birth or were pregnant, you were super into like, I'm doing dentistry. Like, what has changed?
Dude, that was literally the plan. The reason we had her, the time we did, I was like, it'll be nice. Like, that way I can have her before dental school, and I go to dental school, and everything's going to be great. And I had such a vision that that's what my life was going to be. But, like I said, no one told me, no one prepared me. Even if someone would have told me, I couldn't have fathomed, like, how much my life would change. It's been so altering to everything. It's disrupted every thought, everything in my life.
Yeah.
Because I really thought I was going to go back to school. And, like, towards the end of my pregnancy, I was just kind of pondering. And I was like, oh, dude, maybe I want to be a stay-at-home mom, blah, blah, blah. But now I've spent a lot of days with Vale. And as much as I love my child, I'm like,
You're like, I need some time away.
I need some time away.
Yeah.
I don't really like suffer from like leaving her. Like, if I have to go to the grocery store, like if Gabby has to take care of her, I'm literally like, it's fine.
Well, it's because you know
I
that
don't
like
care.
she's in good hands.
Yeah.
You know, like you wouldn't leave her with somebody you don't trust.
I don't have
so-
like this sense of paranoia that some moms have, like not being with their baby. I do experience the baby guilt. That's the thing. That's where I kind of like, or the mom guilt, because I'm just like, I don't want to miss out on her childhood, because you only have a baby for 4 years. Then you ship them off to kind of like be more
Like
independent,
schools and all that stuff.
and stuff like that. And I truly want to treasure the time that I have with her, and I don't want to miss out. And if I go to dental school, then I will miss out a little bit of those like 4 like very formative years. So
it's a
help
tough
me out.
decision because I see it like the way you're saying, and then also the other end where like going to school or like keeping to what you were wanting to do before you were pregnant would be a good idea, because you wouldn't want to like Vale turn 18 and then she goes off to college, and then now you're like, oh, like what do I do? Like Vale's not home anymore and I don't really have like anything to do. Like maybe I should like go get a part-time job, or like I don't have like my dentistry degree like I wanted it to.
It's just my dentistry dream is not instant gratification, and so much in our lives is instant gratification that it's very hard to be patient. I'm like, I just want to have a house. I just
especially with something like
be...
dentistry that is a long haul game. But like, you know what you want to do. You just have to just stop thinking about other stuff and commit to that. Because I've told her this a couple times, and this is something now as on my 26th year of life that I've realized is, no matter what you do in life, life is going to be hard. Like, tough things are going to come. So, like,
choose your hard.
Yeah, like, are you going to be hard? Are you going to have, sorry.
Are you going to be hard?
Sorry. I was super immature, my bad. I was
trying not to laugh, but then you laughed.
I tried to get past it, but I was just too immature, my bad.
Still a boy at heart.
Yeah. See, it's the aspect of having fun. But, fuck. So stuff in life is gonna be hard regardless. So like, do you want life to be hard and you like suffer and not do things you want to do, or do you want it to be hard and you do what you're gonna do regardless and be successful, you know, or at least attempt something that you want to do? Because
regardless, in both situations, there's gonna be something that sucks, is hard, and is like taking up your time.
Yeah, like it's gonna either be hard because you're committed and you have to study, you have to learn about teeth, you have to learn all the like the little things about it, or it's gonna be hard because you're like, I need a part-time and they don't let me, like I have to work X amount of hours, or I have to get a full-time and I only have X amount of days off, and I can't make it work, you know? Like regardless, it's gonna be hard, so why not do what you want to do?
It's just, yes, but there's like so many factors, because now we have a kid and I'm like, daycare.
Yes.
And life always has a way of finding out, and the uni has been like making us like get past like all the hard moments in our life.
Well, hopefully this podcast.
But I think I'm coming to a conclusion that I'm going to still pursue it. I want to jump ship so bad. I'm like,
girl.
I like, let me just do something that takes like 2 years. Like,
okay, but then 20
out.
years down the line, when Vale is 20 years old and she's in college or doing whatever she's doing, and then you're gonna look back and think, dang, if I went to dentistry school, you could have been a dentist for like 15 years already.
It's just a lot of debt, like you gotta take on, and it's not something I take lightly. I'm like, gosh dang, that's a lot of money to be able to go to dental school. But I like push it out of I follow a dentistry page, and it's like a bunch of dentistry students that like submit videos, and like they put like post like videos, and I'm like, every time I see it, I just get so like, oh my gosh, like look at all their tools, like look at all their things, look at whatever.
So you're like genuinely like excited about it.
Yeah, it gives me like a thrill. And especially because it's almost like artistic, but not in a drawing form, which I cannot draw. Well, actually a little bit, but not a lot, just a little bit. But it's really nice because you get to work with your hands, and I'm very much so perfectionist with like my hands and stuff like that, and I feel like I could really see myself like working
doing
on
veneers,
like small details. I'm all about the small details, and that is what dentistry is. So I've come to the conclusion. I'm like, people who are listening, check back. Let's see if I actually make it.
On the next episode where you're like, I'm gonna go to radiology.
I wish it would just be so nice if I liked literally anything else, but
that's the thing, you don't. So
I don't.
Don't put yourself in a position to where you're finding to like you're forcing yourself to like something else because you're scared to go into what you actually want to do.
Like at the bare minimum, you can try dental school, get in debt for like a year or two, and if you're like,
oh no, I'm taking that bitch out. I think after the first year, you have a white coat ceremony. After that bitch is on my body, like it's game over.
Yeah.
I think I've heard it's only like it's hard all around, but the first 2 years are literally like
the toughest.
Well, but look, then it gets better.
The easiest way to get out of debt with that stuff is get the scholarship through
The military?
a branch of the military, have them pay for it.
She's a Marine.
Jokes on you, Marines don't have dentists.
I know.
That's what the Navy's for.
I will not join the Navy. That's even the slight possibility end up on a boat is a no for me.
Yeah.
But I came to the conclusion, unfortunately, I still really like it.
Not unfortunately, girl.
I
Fortunately.
I can't shake it off, and
Yeah, remember all those years of like all those long walks we had of you being like, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know. And then the relief and joy you felt once you figured out, oh, I want to be a dentist.
Of all the things
You
I
know?
could have like freaking liked, that
Yeah.
dentistry is a thing. But also, I'm not in a hurry. Like, I've waited this long in my life to be able to even go to school and stuff like that. I'm not in a hurry. I told him, like, if I'm not a dentist until I'm like 35, like, so be it. But like, we're gonna make it happen. So I'm just gonna finish my undergrad. I have like not that much left. Finish my undergrad ever so slowly, and then like apply to dental school, and I will be like 2-3 by that time or something like that. I don't know. Whenever whatever age she is, but Dr. Miranda coming at you in a few years.
Let's go.
Ya tú
That's what we
sabes.
like to hear.
Ya tú sabes.
Yeah, well, thank you, Karen, for coming on the podcast again. It was nice to hear all of your delivery stories, because I saw the video that Pablo showed us when you were giving Vale, like, when she was coming out.
That's TikTok worthy. We gotta clip some clips. I don't know how to do that. That's all you.
I saw Pablo's face is like, I got permission to post that.
I was like, I can do it.
Honestly, I think it's funny. Like, I don't even care. Like,
Yeah.
But next time we have you on, I want to try and get another one of these mics so we have you and Gabby on. That'd be pretty fun.
Because we've only ever had you guys on once together for like the New Year's special, but it's time for another one
Now we
with all
got
4
some
of us.
crisp audio that we can have 4 people on. Let's go. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to go and subscribe and hit the like button for that week of good luck. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.